Rewind. Okay. So Nikoo, meet Nikoo. As I said, she is going from the medical writer position to CRC, and we've taken her. She's one of my clients for the 4 week program. We've taken her through, like, we talked about her goals, and then got to know her for a little bit. For week 1, week 2, we did like a LinkedIn audit, resume review, resume audit, and those were recorded with Dan, or not Dan, sorry, Damien and myself. And then week 3, she met Ramses, who is a CRC. So I wanted to give her like an insight, bring somebody on that's actually doing the job, since that's the route she's wanting to take, and to kind of
Okay.
give her the day in the life of a CRC. And we gave her some interview prep questions for week 3. And for today, I wanted to bring you here because obviously you're a site owner, and is it possible to kind of give her the day in the life of what you do, and then maybe pop her with some interview questions that you would have for, let's say if she were to walk into your site and you guys wanted to hire her or interview her, what kind of questions would you ask her?
Oh yeah. Okay. So as far as day in the life of a site owner, I mean, it depends on where in the process you are. So I'm in year 4 almost of running my site, and it's very different than year 1, where I was actually the coordinator as well. Um, the the day to day is very different, but it's mainly managing coordinators, making sure that they're on track with various tasks, making sure they're compliant, keeping track of the studies that we have going on. Um, we use Monday.com, so it's project management tool. In addition to Creo, which is our eSource and our eReg and CTMS, it's a project management tool that separates the studies and keeps tabs on who's doing what and what particular bottlenecks there are for randomizing patients or for regulatory maintenance, as an example. So that's my day to day now. It's mainly handling problems and establishing new relationships, either with new doctors or new vendors. For example, imaging vendors is one of the things I did today. We need an MRI vendor. We also have a new doctor on board that I need to get his resume because we have a potential study for him. This is just today. Today we also
That's
have,
awesome.
yeah, we have a patient that's out of window on a randomized study. The sponsor wants us to screen fail her. We don't. So I had to ask my coordinators what's going on, and somebody replied back to the sponsor. I had a weird request today to go back in the EDC of a study we've been closed out for 3 years and enter like some more data. And then
Oh, wow.
the CRO manager was trying to act like this is normal. And I told her we'll do it for an extra fee, which is like a small, like $500 fee. We'll do it, but you got to acknowledge that this is not normal. And, hopefully, I don't think she'll reply to that, but she'll just be happy that I did it. So that's just today, different things. But as a coordinator, it's very different. I mean, as a coordinator, when I was a site owner and a coordinator a few years ago, I was not able to get so high level on things because I was in the trenches doing the study visits. And so building the site would have to wait until I had time. And now that's not the case because we have coordinators that do that and requires my involvement only to make sure things are flowing smoothly or as smoothly as they possibly can be in startup environment. And yeah, we interview coordinators. Well, there's no trained coordinators here in Yuma, so we interview we interview people that I think have potential,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and I can tell you who doesn't have potential a lot easier than who does. If you don't show any interest in the job or research in general, that's a red flag. So I had one person walk in. I had one person email me a few weeks ago said all the right things, like, hey, I want to intern, I'm going to nursing school, but I love research, and um, I would like to be able to shadow at your clinic. So I said, oh, awesome, come in and meet with me and my lead CRC. And then when she came in, it was like nothing. Like, she wasn't talking at all. I gave her a copy of my book. I asked her, do you have any questions for us? She basically said no.
How
So
can you not have any questions if it's I'm confused?
yeah, I don't know. She just thought, she can. I think she needs the research experience for nursing school, or just needs some hours on her
Oh,
resume
Oh,
and something that looks different. But yeah, after she left, I told the staff, like, I don't think that's somebody we would want, because there's no real interest. Like,
mhm.
if you don't know research, I need to see some enthusiasm, and at least that you went out of your way to learn something about it,
uh-huh.
because it's less likely you're gonna quit. And like in your situation, if you're coming from a medical writer, you have some idea of research.
Oh yes, as I am a pharmacist and I have done research as
Okay.
I have been in clinical research for the past 3 years as a medical
Okay.
writer.
As a medical writer, yeah. So I mean, my concern with someone like this would be, how do you transition that to, patient interactions and dealing with monitors? And I think there's a lot of transferable skills, but
Hmm.
like, if I were to interview you, that's kind of the angle I would get at is, you're good with, writing protocols. That's obviously a lot of pluses there, a lot of benefits. But how do we know that when you interact with a patient or have a difficult patient, that you're going to be okay with that and you're going to like that part of the job? So, those would be my concerns. But if you can persuade me of some of those concerns, I think you'd make a good candidate.
Sure. I At the last year of the pharmacy school, we had like 7 rotation. Each
Hmm.
of them was 6 weeks, and like we were interacting with patient at different settings. You said like hospital, community pharmacy, different kind of hospitals, and it was a whole year that I was interacting, like our school was we were interacting with patients. So I
Hmm.
am very well familiar with that. We were like drug monitoring and drug reconciliation, everything like that. So I would say that was a really, really great experience for me as part of school.
Okay. Um, that would make it. That would make it. Yeah, I think that would kind of ease my concerns a little. I mean, I think you have everything you need. Another aspect of what I would be maybe have some questions would be, um, coordinating is not glamorous.
Uh huh.
Like, medical writing's in a way, maybe it's more glamorous. I don't know, but you're doing a lot of things at once. Um, you're recruiting patients, so you have to have like a good persuasion on the phone or in person. Your background as a pharmacist is great because you understand medication, so that's, I actually think you would be a very good candidate if I were to interview you. But if you can persuade that you also have good interaction skills with patients,
Mm-hmm.
I think you would do well from what I've heard so far from you.
Okay.
So, Niku, do you want to give him a little bit more of your background as far as maybe like patient care? How did you interact with the patients? Did you come across any difficult patients, and how did you handle it? Or what kind of were you able to multitask anything within during the pharmacy clinical rotations, if you will.
Yes, I would say when I was at the community pharmacy, sometimes you have like different difficult patients. When I have had someone that just came directly from hospital and they didn't have anyone to help them and they were very angry. So I just try to like calm them down, and I just try to assure them that I'm here to help them if they have any question regarding their medication. And sometimes I would just go even above and beyond, like for example I would get them an Uber because the patient just came from hospital, and she was just so she was kind of in a panic or something that I just want to take my medication and go. So sometimes you just like speed that up. Sometimes I got an Uber for her so she can go to home and something like that. Or even at the hospital, when I was at the hospital, it was like a uh, sometimes you see some of the patient that really they are not cooperating, or sometimes they have, for example, someone that maybe they cannot hear well, or they cannot, like they are like maybe old or something, or like senior level. So you have to be patient with them. You have to make sure that you have to let them know what you want and what their expectation is, and they are aligned together. And sometimes it's just that I would say the patient care for me has always been my first priority in terms of the patient safety and patient care. So there is a lot that comes with, like as a pharmacist, when I was doing my rotation, there is a lot of unexpected thing that comes. Sometimes, for example, community pharmacy, sometimes especially at the rush hour, you see very long lineup, and you just
Hmm.
need to say that, okay, I'm sorry that for that you have to wait to that you are waiting, but it's usually rush hours and you're doing the best we can. And it's just that you need to make sure that you have that patient care as well as that business side of the things as well at mind. It's not just that, okay, I do my job and that's it. No, for me it's always I have gone above and beyond.
Yeah, I mean, I've interviewed maybe hundreds of people in as for coordinators throughout my career. So I've I think you would honestly be a good candidate for your background, the
Uh-huh.
pharmacist part, and you've convinced me enough that you do have the interactions and e- the empathy. So you have definitely the IQ. I would go look for someone in your archetype with your background, highly educated. I would look at your emotional intelligence. But so just remember to focus on those things too when you're
Mm-hmm.
interviewing, because they're not so concerned about your competency. They're more
Uh-huh.
concerned with like your attitude. And I've had foreign trained physicians I did not hire just because their
Hmm.
attitude was know it all.
Oh.
And he came across, this was recent, he came across like a little bit aggressive. Like I can tell he
Hmm.
would give problems to the other staff. And so you don't
Hmm.
want that to resonate from your end. And
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't sound like it will. I mean, that honestly, I really think females actually come across much better in that regard than males when it comes to this, which it's very good. But there are plenty of females that don't come off that way either.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't think that's a problem with you either. I'm not sure if the first clinic you go to will hire you. I mean, like the odds are kind of against you unless you go to enough sites. But
Mm-hmm.
She's. I told her at first. I think she was just doing phone calls. And what were you emailing your resume or just applying? But I actually advised her to go to. Hold on, my screen just did something weird. I advised her to actually go into the sites, into the building, talk to someone, and let them know, like, hey, this is what I have to offer. And that's something that I've gathered from Dan too. This is what I have to offer. This is what I can do. What do you need help with? Now, I think you've only gone to two sites right
Uh-huh.
now.
Yeah.
Uh, and you live where in California? What part of California is
Orange
it?
County. I live in Orange County. but I am willing to go to Los Angeles as well. I'm willing to, because
Ah, okay.
in California everything is far away, so I'm willing to do that. I'm gonna I'm gonna I know that, like, now that I'm transitioning from medical writer to like a site coordinator, I would like, I will have a pay cut. I know, I'm aware of that, and that's something that I understand, and is expected. And I would like to get into this clinical operation. This is something that I always wanted to do, and I'm very excited about that. It's just that I think, and Dan can maybe elaborate on that. That I think right now is just the market is tough, right, Dan?
The market's not tough for sites. The research sites are doing well. In certain areas, I think Orange County, LA, Southern California, there's a lot of sites.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm from Orange County. I went to high school in
Oh,
Aliso Viejo.
oh yeah, I'm close to that. Very
Yeah,
close.
I went to Lisa Nagel High School.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Um, I'm in Yuma, Arizona now, but that's like I've had a sites in Orange County too, and San Bernardino, Norwalk, Anaheim. So I'm very familiar with that market.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of sites. Where in Orange County? You said you're close to Aliso Viejo.
Yes, I am in Mission Viejo.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah. So South County's a little tougher, but if you go North County, there are more sites. Like South County, there are sites too, but they're very niche. So they're like derm. In Newport, you have a lot of derm.
Uh-huh.
In Mission Viejo, I'm not sure if there's a lot of sites in Mission Viejo. Have you seen it? Come across any? And
No, no.
it would not be a bad place to open a site, actually.
Hmm.
I'm thinking about San Juan Capistrano for myself. We're actually thinking of expanding in San Juan Capistrano.
Oh, okay.
Me and Monica and one of my PIs that lives in Laguna Beach, but he used to be my PI here in Yuma. He still is, but he lives in Laguna Beach.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go north of the 55. I mean, Alicia
Uh-huh.
will get very hyper local real quick, but I will go north of the 55. You'll find much more sites like Anaheim, Costa Mesa, Santa Ana. There's so many,
Uh-huh.
especially in the psychiatric. The
Uh-huh.
Your advantage is you have an advanced degree. You have a
Okay.
doctorate degree, so you could be what's called a psychometric rater. So you want to find psychiatric clinics that do like CNS studies. And there's no shortage of CNS sites north of that 55. I mean, you can go with the big private equity ones like SynXL, or you can go with the smaller like Anaheim Clinical Trial, or even more small like I know there's a couple in Santa Ana. There's a lot. I would just go in person to all those places. One day, just go north of the 55 to like all these places and drop off your resume.
Sure. I just Google them. It's just that I Google them and they show up in Google, or
Yeah, and just go. Just
okay.
go in
Let's
person.
go.
Say, I watched this guy on YouTube and he told me to come. Just blame
Okay.
it on me. It's okay. And
Sure.
but tell them you have a doctorate degree, because you tell them you're like you want to show them you're humble. So
Uh-huh.
you want to say, hey, I know I'm taking a pay cut. I know I'm overqualified for my degree, but I know I'm willing to be a psychometric rater for your studies, but I really want to be a coordinator. Like that would be music to my ears as a site owner of psych studies. I used to do only psych studies in Orange County. Like if you walked in, I would be like, yeah, even if we weren't hiring, I would put you on at least a volunteer and then give you like
Mhm.
some rater training stuff, but you'd probably be hired at some point.
Okay. You said psychometric radar. Is that the name
Yeah,
of the title?
psychometric rating scales, yeah. And you can just Google Columbia Severity Suicide Scale and get certified on it for free.
Oh, that I
Oh,
did not know.
Yeah,
Columbia
it's the
grading.
suicide CSSRS, CSSRS
Uh huh.
Suicide training. Here we go. Free training. If you go with this and your GCP in hand, like go with your GCP, go with
Uh-huh.
this, and say, I'm here, I'm humble, and I want to be a coordinator. You
Sure.
won't have to knock on too many doors of sites.
Okay.
Um, go to the smaller ones, the bigger ones, like a private equity already. But the smaller ones they're all over. Like they're you don't have to go to LA. You can do it in Orange County.
So, do you have to have, since I'm curious about this training here,
Yeah.
I'd like to take, can I take this training too?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
so I think it's that CSSRS right there, that drop down.
Uh-huh.
this one right here. Oops.
Yeah. And then free training for individuals. Now let's see what happens.
Um,
I think it's already what the
oh,
page is
it's
on.
right here. Oh my goodness, I'm
Yeah.
sleepy.
No, me too. I did the same thing, but if you go down, they changed the way it looks from when I did this back in the day.
Uh-huh.
All you do is watch this thing. They want to sell you the in-person stuff, but you do the certificate right there, project sign certificate on the bottom.
Um,
Uh-huh.
oh, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. They changed it. In the past, you used to watch. You can just give yourself the certificate, but if you go back, you watch the videos,
Uh-huh.
and that's the channel. I didn't even know. This is new to me too.
Oh, so you can go to their YouTube channel to watch the
And there's
training?
a module. There's a module 2 above as well. So
Okay.
like they'll explain what you're doing. Like click here. Um, so yeah, you could just click all those things, and there you go. That's the one I did. But then
Okay.
they used to give you the certificate. Now you just give it to yourself. You don't even have to do it anymore.
Wow.
This is crazy. I had
You,
to do this.
you may download a certificate of learning here.
Yeah.
Watch
Okay.
the video. Let's see here.
Like if you go with that in hand already and GCP, like they already know you mean business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's a dream come true.
I really actually I really like psychiatry. I really do. And I'm very good with all medication and
Who doesn't?
everything.
Who doesn't like psychiatry? But yeah, I
Do
know
you so do
it's
you
good for
have,
you.
oh, I'm so sorry. I keep
No,
okay.
no, it's that's when I hear advanced degree, doctorate especially. This is
Mm-hmm.
like a little hack that very few know, and I've made videos about this too, but apparently not enough.
You know, I do have a question for you. Let's say she wanted to become a CRA eventually.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like for myself, couldn't I hire my own? I have my CRA academy. Let's say I take her through the training. Is it possible I could hire her as my own CRA, hypothetically, as a contractor?
Yeah. I mean, they would ask what studies you've done, but you know, you can. There's nothing stopping you. You I think CRA is gonna be a weird role going forward. Like right now, they're still in need.
Mm-hmm.
I think as these site networks start eating away more of the CRO work, I think that the sites are actually going to employ more CRAs.
Hmm. I
Um,
was wondering about that. I was talking to Damien, and we're working on building the academy,
mhm.
and he was the one that mentioned. I think the term that's going around right now is fractional
Yeah,
workers.
there's a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, well, it didn't really cross my mind that I don't know why I have too many things going on at once, that I could take these individuals through my program, and then, as you said, the sponsor would need to see that they have some kind of experience or whatever for studies, and then hire them as consultants or contract workers, employees.
Yeah, and the fractional thing is right now because there's a lot of out of work people from sponsors and CROs, but
Mm-hmm.
sites are depends where, but a lot of sites are hiring, and especially growing site networks. And then one of the things that site networks are going to start doing are having quality assurance people, which are basically CRAs that monitor their own studies. So then they'll tell the sponsors, we already have our own CRAs. And I already know some sites that do like phase one sites in SoCal that do the CRO and the site stuff themselves.
Oh, wow.
The West Coast clinical trials, I don't know what they're called anymore, but they were in Cyprus. Let me see what they're called now. They might still be called the same thing, but they got bought by now they're called Alta Sciences, but they are in Cypress, California. This is another one you can go to. They don't do psych studies, but they would probably hire you.
Okay. And they are called alt.
I'm gonna put in the link right
Oh,
here.
okay.
I'll put their Google. Click to copy.
Here we go. I'll share it on the screen here.
That they don't do psych, but I've actually monitored for their. I've been a contractor with them before, way back in the day, and they're pretty cool. I knew the original owner, but I think that he left a long time ago. Actually, let me see if he left. Peter, Kim, and John Rojas. I don't know how I still remember it. West Coast Clinical Trials. It used to be called the West Coast Clinical Trials, and then they got acquired by this group.
The Alta Sciences.
Yeah, so they do phase one, mostly healthy volunteer, a lot of ethnic bridging studies, like from Asia. And yeah, see. So there you go. I would go
Jesus.
there and be like, listen, I'm going to a bunch of sites. Here's my resume.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they have some psych. They're huge now. Look how much they pay the patients.
I know. I was looking at that. I mean, goodness gracious. But it's up too, so that can be any
Yeah,
number of.
I've been there. I mean, they are a site healthy volunteer factory. These people are around the clock.
Wow, that's quite a bit. That's actually a lot. But how long is the study though? Okay.
They have a bunch different kind, but some of them are like 4 nights, some are 2 weeks. I think they do outpatient stuff too, because they have a site in Costa Mesa, and they have a site in Long Beach. I don't think you need to go outside of Orange County,
Oh,
honestly.
really? That's really good news.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother with LA because I wouldn't go outside of Orange County. There's a lot. You just need to start Googling them. Or just, I
Sure.
mean, these are off the top of my head. There's another one, Anaheim Clinical Trials.
I think I've heard you talk about that one before.
Yeah, they used to be like a semi-competitor of mine, but they were always very big. So, oh, they got acquired by SenXL.
Oh,
SenXL is that group that I think they sold their site network for like 1.5 billion with a B.
wow.
Yeah. So they're not messing with me. But I knew the owners back in the day. They used to do psychiatry. We would cross paths, but now they do. I mean, they do everything. But this is Anaheim Clinical Trial specifically on SynXL. And I bet you they have CNS because I know they used to do CNS. I used to know a lot of their teams there. Healthy volunteer, diabetes, hernia. Yeah, I mean, they got everything. Maybe they stopped doing psych. Another one that does psychiatry is CNS Network. Unless they changed their name to something else. They all got bought by somebody. CNS Network, CNS Network is now SendXL too. So
Oh,
SendXL, yep. So CNS Network. So here's one. I would go here. I used to know the owner of this place too. Man, these guys all made bank. I'm over here grinding still.
That's a lot of what am I doing wrong? No, I'm just kidding.
We're grinding. Well, these guys been grinding before me though.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they were who I was looking up to when I came out when I started. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I see.
I never had desire to make a site that big as theirs. I had a desire to
Mhm,
do what I'm doing now, a bunch of
mhm.
locations with like outpatient stuff. Um, but
That's my
these
goal
guys
for right
focus just
now.
psych. These were just psych.
Mm.
This is where I would go for the psych. Uh, this one, but then there's smaller ones too.
okay.
Uh, Costa Mesa has some. I think SendXL bought them too from Costa Mesa. SendXL is the big one, but I mean, they probably have a formal process. I would still go in person, but they will send you to like their
Mhm.
website, blah blah blah. You
No,
need to
I
find,
will go on. I will go in person. I will go in person for
yeah,
sure.
but like if you find a smaller site,
Mm-hmm.
they all get acquired, so I don't know anymore. But let me look up like schizophrenia study Anaheim. Uh, I know there used to be some Filipino owned ones out there. Oh, I used to call them the Filipino mafia. Uh, I mean, I used to have a site there. If this was 10 years ago, no, not even 10. Wow, we would have had to do this like 12 years ago.
Wow.
But yeah, I would have brought you on. I don't know who these guys are, but they changed their name a bunch of times.
Hmm.
Experienced staff. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. But they probably do a good job. Yeah, it would just show up. These guys even have an Instagram. Let's blow them up.
You know, I know
Oh,
some.
they follow me. Okay, there we go.
I've noticed some of the sites their social media presence is not very
Yeah,
strong.
there's another angle where you can get yourself a job that way that people don't do. But I think with an advanced degree, um, you can go the route of psychometric rater because that's more scarce. You always want to do what's more scarce.
Hmm.
But nobody approaches with social media like nobody. I
That's crazy
mean,
to me because that's where it is right now. I mean, that's where your biggest.
yeah, like if I had somebody like this girl I interviewed 2 weeks ago, I mean, she did everything right. It's like in
Hmm.
basketball, if you make all the right moves and you're like, wow, this person is amazing. Like,
Hmm.
look at all that. Look at that crossover. Look at that spin move. Oh, shoot. And then they get to the hoop and they just like throw it over the rim or something.
Do they freeze up? Do they? Does she? You said she did all the right things.
Yeah, like she emailed me.
Right?
She kept being persistent. Like, I'm her. And then when she showed up, she's like completely different person. Like, no interest whatsoever. So it's like, man, he did all that wrestle dazzle, and then you know,
What do you think causes that? Do you feel like maybe
I think
they
she was
are?
young and nervous, but
Oh.
I don't know. I gave her a book and told her like, good luck. I didn't
Good
tell her we
luck.
wouldn't call her, but I haven't called her and she hasn't followed up. So
Oh, I think it would be kind of common sense if someone told me, "Well, good luck. Here's a book." I know they're not calling me back. There's no, and I didn't really show any interest. So, a lot of times you can see whenever the manager, if they're really
yeah,
interested in you,
yeah,
the vibe is different, the conversations are different, and vice versa. Even for the candidate,
yeah.
everything is different. So,
Well, it was
yeah.
me and my lead CRC that were there, and I asked her when the person left, and she was like, "What was wrong with her?" And I was like, "I don't know.
She
I don't
wasn't
know.
interested.
It's just not the right like I don't know. It showed me she didn't really want to be there. She just like needed some hours, I think, on her resume, and it sounded cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but don't do that. So go, show up. Obviously, if you're meeting with Alicia, you care.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's a lot of people watching that they can approach a site with, like, even this one I clicked on. Like, if I wanted to work there, I'd be like, hey, I want to be a coordinator, but I noticed your Instagram's like all just, they look like just simple text. Like, we need to bring more personality into this. I'm willing to do it for you
Mm-hmm.
for free. You guys can approve it all for the first few weeks until I learn your style and what's okay and what's not. But I want to be a coordinator here in Shadow as well. And if you guys like what I do, I'm happy to work here. Uh,
Okay.
but I think with your advanced degree, you don't need to do that route. You have the pharmacy, like the advanced degree. You go for the psychiatry sites.
Okay. Sure. Absolutely. I'll try what I am. I'm just writing down what you said, and I will go in person and talk to them. And
Yeah.
I'm amazed that SoCal has a lot of sites,
SoCal
especially
is
in
like
the.
one of the capitals of research sites besides Miami.
Uh huh.
Besides Miami and Houston, which Houston surpassed SoCal. SoCal used to be like, but yeah, Houston is way more concentrated now with sites. But SoCal too. There's a bunch of sites. I mean, you're talking about 20 million people in that region.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
From Ventura down to San Diego to the Inland Empire. Like, there's a lot of sites, and there's a lot of consolidation too. Like, it looks like some of the smaller mom and pop sites when I was there have been acquired. Looks like many times over, because I knew this group advanced, and doesn't look like they are the same people that were there when I was.
I have a question here. I'm just wondering, like from the CRC to CRA route, if someone shows like initiation and like shows interest and works hard, how long does it usually take for someone to go that route? Someone like me that has
To
like advanced
go
degree
which route?
from the CRC to CRA.
Well, that's changing now, so I don't
Mm-hmm.
know the new answer, but the old answer was 2 to 3 years with someone like you, like your degree and everything. I
Uh-huh.
think 2 years is reasonable. So I still think that's the case, maybe. But I think long term, well, I won't say it. I don't think I should scare you. So I think 2 years you can be a Siri. I
Okay.
think in 2 years you won't want to be, but I'll let you decide that.
But, I was looking at the job descriptions, and from now, of course, whenever COVID hit 2021, we all know that's different. They were just hiring like crazy and almost anyone. But now, whenever I'm looking at the job descriptions, they're wanting like 100 years of experience. Sorry, 8, maybe 5 years of
Yeah.
monitoring experience. So
Yeah.
it's a lot harder to get into
Mm-hmm.
those spaces right now.
Yeah, and I don't want to say too much and scare your student, but just go apply. two
Speak the
years.
truth. That's why you're here.
Well, it's my opinion, so I don't know if it's the
Oh,
truth.
I see. Never mind.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay in 2 years, and I think you may not want to. Like, the CRA space might be different by then. Like the
Everything's
sites,
changing.
yeah, I think these site networks. I mean, these guys. Two of these links I sent you, they're worth $1.5 billion.
God.
Like, you don't think they could match your salary what a CRA gets? Like, if you have value for them and they have
Mm-hmm.
roles that CRAs do too, you may not leave.
Okay.
Mm.
And you may not need to travel that far. Like, these guys, I think their locations are. They'd probably put you regional, but SendXL, yeah, SendXL is insane. I think this is the group that sold for 1.5 billion.
Billion. Can you imagine? I can't imagine that. I don't even know what that's like.
I mean, these. Let's see, Dr. Jessica McKee. Yeah, I'm not sure I would even want to like not the money part, of course. I would
Right.
want 1.5 billion, but to grind to get that, I'm not sure that would be like that exciting for me. Because there's the growing part, but then there's the part where you turn it over to professional managers. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't be a professional manager. I wouldn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I need the small sites like so where we still have like a lot of freedom. Because once it gets too stuffy, uh, yeah, look at their locations: California, Garden Grove, Los Alamitos, Torrance. Those are all three. They bought that from CNS Network. Then they have Riverside and Bellflower. They bought those two from Debbie Hoffmeyer at CI Trials. And then they have Sherman Oaks. I don't know who they bought that from. And then Anaheim. I know that was Anaheim Clinical Trials. And then they have Salt Lake City, Englewood. I think that's Colorado. And then Georgia, Atlanta. What are those? Decatur, Toms River, Maryland. Oh no, Jersey, Gaithersburg, Hollywood, Florida, Tampa. Yeah, this is like this is a site network, all right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't think with that footprint, a sponsor will go to them and say, "Eh, we won't go with the CRO. We'll just go with you guys." And then
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna hire the CRAs too. So they're already planning to do that. You don't sell for 1.5 billion, and that buyer is gonna sit there not thinking how to make them a CRO as well. That
Mm-hmm.
buyer wants that 1.5 billion. They want to flip that to 3, and you don't get there by just sitting there and doing what
Mm-hmm.
you've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you'll be fine in any of these places. I think any of them would hire you. There's a bunch of small ones too. Like if you do want to go to LA, Monica Quitiva owns a site in LA in Santa Monica, but that's a hell of a drive from Mission View.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I
How far
prefer
is the
OC
drive?
honestly. It's
I
at
wouldn't
least
wish
two and a
that
half
on my
hours.
enemy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that's
you're
that's
you're faster
that's good.
coming to Yuma, and yeah, but there's, I mean, in Orange County, and you're close enough to where you can go to like Oceanside has some sites too, psychiatric trials.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm trying to open one in San Juan,
Oh, okay.
but I think you'll get a job before then because Monica, I don't even know who's going to be the coordinator. I think it might be Monica initially. But yeah, we're trying to grow a mini site network too without private equity money until the right one comes along.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't I remember whenever I was, which it became a little expensive, I was bouncing around in St. Louis, which is the nearest place of clinical trials of anything.
Oh, you're in a
Um,
great location where you're at.
I know, and the only issue I'm having is getting my PI. Once I have my PI,
But
there's
where
an
are you looking?
individual.
Where Springfield or uh, where are you at?
No, well, Missouri, Sikeston, Missouri. So if you pull up the map, so if you look at St. Louis, we are 2.5 hours south of St. Louis.
What's it called? Your city?
Sikeston, SI. Hold on a second. Keston. There we go.
I mean, this is like where. Yeah, this is like exactly type of town I would want to start a site.
Yeah.
And
I just need a doctor. I just need my doctor. That's it. I'm
New
networking.
Madrid County.
New Madrid County. We've got New
Oh,
Madrid County, Marston. We just had a few
yeah.
earthquakes that happened in the area last week. They were small.
Oh, nice. You turning into California.
Yeah. So
Um,
yeah, that's what. And then there's a lady that just connected with me. She says she has a pipeline of PIs, 160 over 160 PIs across the United States. That I'm hoping I can.
I wouldn't pay for any of that stuff.
Well, I don't know if she hasn't mentioned anything about paying, but no.
We'll go live and when you have time, maybe after this, and I'll show you how to do it. Psych
Oh.
stuff. Yeah. I need to know the lay of the land first, but it looks interesting for research.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had one individual at the conference, right? He said, well, at least you need to get your PI. Like, would you please get your PI? I
Yes.
know a sponsor right now that would be all over you. Get your PI, come back to me, and then I'm going to connect you with the sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
And you should be good. So I'm pushing so hard. I just, maybe you can magically fall out of the sky and,
No, we'll talk because as we grow our
Okay.
network,
Okay.
yeah, I gotta talk to you about. That's where where I want to be, in those kind of cities.
Okay.
Don't listen to any of these fake site owners out there.
Fake. Okay, now we've talked about the fake CRAs. We have fake site owners now. Are you serious?
I'm not gonna put them on blast on the recording, but yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, ooh.
They're the influencers now for everything.
This is not a joke, people. You know, we can talk about this offline.
Yeah.
Or after the recording.
Don't fall for scams.
Oh my
But yeah.
God.
No, this is interesting conversation with both of you.
Yeah.
I mean, Orange County's right. I know everything about the lay of the land. Well, I used to know, like, they all got consolidated now, but there's also Irvine clinical trials. I think they were dermatology. They stole a few of my coordinators back in the day.
They stole your coordinators.
I mean, they went to work there, but they got bought by somebody. They do memory.
Oh.
Yeah, see, they do Alzheimer's. So that's psych. Alzheimer. I would go to Irvine clinical trials.
Okay.
Who's there? Meet our staff. Let's see. Dang, they got a bunch of staff. I don't see any of my former employee though. I see the same owner.
Do you happen to know the owner?
He older now. It's better not to mention me. I mean, you can mention me, but we don't really talk.
Okay. So it's called Irvine Clinical Trials, right?
Irvine Clinical Trials, yeah.
Okay.
They're big now.
Is there anyone that you know of, not to try to put you on the spot, Dan, but is there anyone that you know of right now that maybe we could introduce her to? Obviously, she's going to go and do her own work.
Mm-hmm.
But is there anyone like locally that you know of we can introduce her to, or not we, but maybe kind of not necessarily hook her up, but say, hey, she's here. I've got somebody, or hey, I know of someone, like a referral, just out of curiosity, because I know you. I mean, I know you know a lot of people. You've been at this for a while. You of anybody?
I do. I think this person, the coordinator that they stole from, still works there.
Oh wow!
I see her here now. So I mean, I can introduce you to her. She only worked for my site for like 3 weeks.
Oh, 3 weeks?
Yeah, but
That's it.
It sucked because like we found her and then we this was in 2012.
2012. Oh, that's been some time ago.
Yeah. I mean, I almost forgot, but I recognize her face.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone I could introduce you to, like all these owners are not there anymore. I used to know the owners. I know this. Well, I don't really know her, but it's because in SoCal there's so much turnover. Everybody's hustling.
It's a high turnover for CRCs.
It's just that big city vibe. There's so much going on that
oh yeah,
you don't stay somewhere that long. But this one stayed like a long time over there. I don't think she even remembers me.
How can you not remember Dan Sfera? How can you forget?
2012. I mean, yeah, I had a YouTube, but it was like nobody watching. But I don't think she cared. I don't think she cared about that.
Oh, I see.
Uh, am I connected to her on LinkedIn? No, she didn't even have a LinkedIn. That's the thing. When you get cozy in your job, you don't need a LinkedIn.
Yeah, you're right. Some people don't.
Like my coordinators have LinkedIn, but well, one of them uses it regularly, but the other ones, one of them doesn't even have it. Um,
I never really used LinkedIn. I could have cared less about it, but whenever I transitioned over into this space, I still didn't really use LinkedIn. But I started noticing like the interactions with individuals, and
mhm.
because I started, networking and trying to grow my network, it's landed me in this spot here. So you know, kind of keep that for me personally. I kind of keep that in mind. If I'm trying to do something different or elevate in my career, I really need to make sure I continue to keep networking with
Yeah.
individuals who's
Uh,
growing
you,
up on LinkedIn.
so someone I can introduce you to? No, but I would go to those links because, and I've thought about it too. Who else I might know? I don't think they're doing studies, but uh, nah, these ones are solid. If you go to one of these links,
Mm-hmm.
there's no way. I know SendExcel is huge now, but I think you can get a job at any of those places.
Sure.
And when you do, would you mind giving a testimonial, Niku? Because a lot of people, whenever I put this out, I know some people are skeptical, like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
is this really going to work? Or maybe some of these program individuals are fake and they're pretending like they can just get you hired within 2 days. And I don't promise that. What I do
Mm-hmm.
say is, this is what we can do for you. These are the connections that I have. I can introduce you to these individuals. These are the things that you can do. You have to put the legwork in for yourself. But because of my connections, and that's not bragging or anything, I feel like I can make it a lot easier for you, like with these one-to-one sessions here, because I can bring on individuals like Dan, and you have
Mm-hmm.
people like me that can connect you with these sites or a site owner, or just giving you these tips and tricks. So would you mind, whenever you land a job, or even before, you can give me a testimonial now, and then you'll get a job whenever you do.
I do that when I get a job. I'll do a
Whenever you
testimonial
get
for
a job.
you. Yeah, when I
Okay.
get a job, I'll do a testimonial for you.
Okay. Yeah. People need to see that because they're like,
Yes, because I find it,
oh
I find like talking to someone like Dan very helpful.
no. Okay.
I have seen some of his YouTubes.
Yep.
Even before I met you, that you introduced him. But even before
Oh,
that, I was getting like in contact with CRC via LinkedIn, and
Hmm.
one of them that they told me the first name they said that is Dan Sfera. So I have seen some of his videos, and you have quite a reputation, Dan. You have a lot of
yes. Let's do
videos.
it.
You are one of the pioneers, I guess, and I have
Well,
watched videos, and I will put a testimonial for you, Alicia, when I get a job.
That sounds all right. That sounds good.
we got
Sounds
to
good.
open the site in Sykeston, Missouri.
Yes, we are. My
The
goal is to
Bulldogs.
have that baby open this year. I'm pushing to open it this year.
Our mascot will be the Bulldogs.
Sykeston Bulldogs. Yes, that's the mascot.
That's what I see here.
Yep.
Missouri Bothiel.
Boot heel.
Ah,
Some people
yeah.
don't feel bad about that. Some people, whenever they see Sykeston, they call it Sakeston.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't call it that.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, we got to figure out something for both. But yeah, no, I think you'll be fine in Orange County. Try Irvine Clinical Trials too. It looks like they haven't sold to anyone. Oh, there is actually. I could introduce you someone. I think they're still doing research. Dr. Alva. What's their site? Oh yeah, ATP Research Costa Mesa. ATP Research Costa Mesa. Yep. Here's a small one. Dr. Gus Alva. I can introduce you to him. He's
Okay,
the owner.
That would be great.
I haven't talked to this dude.
Awesome.
I haven't talked to him in like 8 years.
Oh wow, long
He's a
time.
psych expert and Alzheimer's expert. So if you like Alzheimer's,
Yes, I do.
but go to him prepared. These dudes hustle. ATP clinical research. I think Bobby is still running the show. Let me see. Last time I was there, Bobby had his M3. Bobby's been doing good. He had the M3 Beamer.
Oh,
All available studies. Yeah, brain injury, depression, Alzheimer's, schizophrenia. I'm pretty sure Bobby's still working there, but I'll introduce you to Gus.
Oh, great. Thank you. Great.
How do I introduce you though? I don't have your email or anything.
Sure. Can I connect you with the on the LinkedIn right now?
Well, yeah.
Okay, sure.
Hello.
So
I
let
need
me just let me just
more
connect you.
followers. I'm trying to
Sure,
get to
absolutely.
100,000.
Okay.
We're gonna get there the old-fashioned way, one at a time.
yes.
Oh.
Oh, YouTube? Do you subscribe?
I believe I did. I
Come
just
on.
sent the connection.
No, YouTube.
YouTube, I think I did.
Please.
Sure.
I'm trying to get a plaque.
Oh, sure.
He's been talking about this for a while. On the road to 100K.
100K. It's a long road, I'll tell you.
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna get thirsty by the end of it.
I don't, I would love to post more content on YouTube, but I am doing so many things right now. It's like a hit or miss.
Yeah. No,
So,
we need to talk off air what you need to do.
all right, sir.
Because I already know.
I sent you a connection.
Thank you. I will find it and then I'll introduce you to send me on LinkedIn your email and then I'll email Dr.
Sure.
Alva. Hopefully I still have his email in here.
Sure. I'm
Dr.
gonna do
Alva's
that.
my boy. We go way back. I can't believe I didn't think about that. I have his cell phone number, but he'd be pissed maybe if I did that.
Uh-oh. Yeah. No, wait a minute. We haven't talked in how long and you're doing this?
Yeah, no, he would be like, well, wait. Oh, I found his email. How about I just give you his email?
I just send you my email.
Okay. Here.
Do you want me?
Just tell him Dan told me to email you. Because I'm a
Okay.
raider. Dan Sfera. He may not know me by first name anymore, but
Sure.
Dan Sfera. Wait,
I'm
where?
just trying to
Oh.
find his email. Let me
Hold
see.
on. I'm going to put it in the chat right
Oh,
here.
okay. Okay.
Wait, is this live? Or wait, is everyone going to
No,
record his? Oh, okay.
no.
galva@atpcr.com. galva@atpcr.com. There you go. I used to
Okay.
monitor at his site. I used to share studies with them.
Mm.
There's another guy, Dr. Duffy, but he got bought by SynXL.
Goodness.
Dr. Duffy in Orange. I just texted him the other day. Yeah, but they got bought. SynXL bought. No, sorry, Yeah, they were Sorrentis Research, and they got acquired by. Let me see. You got me going back. Like this is like time machine. Sorrentis Clinical Research. Well, good thing we're not live, but they are gonna get bought by
Mhm.
SynXL.
What
But you
makes you
didn't
say
hear
that?
because I already know.
Oh, you already know. Okay.
Yeah, but good thing it's not live. So
Oh, yeah.
they told me they're getting bought.
I see.
But you could. That one's good. Dr. Duffy's that last link, and you can message him. Show up. That one is in Orange.
Uh-huh.
Just show up and
Okay.
tell him Dan Sfera sent me.
Okay.
Because he said you're hiring, you guys need raters and coordinators, and I'm willing to intern. And he said you're amazing doctor that he's never met. I watched him turn water into wine once. Just tell him
So
that.
he's that good.
He's that good. I went in the room, I saw him levitating. No, you don't want to say that. They'll put you in the study over there. So they'll think you're
No, no, no.
schizophrenic. They'll say, "Oh, you're here for the study." Yeah, I think that's plenty. Those, especially the last ones, like email Gus. Um, show up to both of those.
Okay.
Gus, go first because it's closer to Mission Viejo, and then
Mm-hmm.
um, Sorrento's after because
Okay.
it's on the way. So from Gus, where are you at in Mission? Like off of Crown Valley or where?
I am, yeah, Crown Valley.
Like near the Mission Viejo Mall?
I am in Ladera Ranch, very close to Mission
Oh yeah,
Viejo.
yeah. Okay, so just take 5 south for Duffy. Go to or
Mm-hmm.
5 north. Go 55 south
Mm-hmm.
and exit Dyer Road for ATP and make a
Okay.
left. Make a left at the light. It will right before the airport, Orange County, like
Uh-huh.
from the back end. And
Uh-huh.
then when you go see Duffy, take the 55 north and take the 91. No, 55 north, and he's right there after the 5 and the 22 and the 55.
Mm-hmm.
He's in that area, and
Okay.
then from there go to Anaheim.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Okay.
We can do turn by turn navigations. This is my Alicia. I didn't know you're gonna introduce me to my neighbor.
I didn't know it either. This has become something a little bit more than I even expected.
This is very valuable.
Yeah.
It is. It is. Thank you.
But tell those guys, Gus, don't tell him I said he's selling the site or Duffy.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, but just tell him I sent you there and blah blah blah. And then Gus, I don't think he's ever selling. So talk to Gus, and then I with between those two, somebody's gonna take you on. But then go to
Mhm.
Anaheim and try the others.
Sure. Absolutely. I will.
Yeah, you'll do good.
Okay.
I say so.
uh,
How's the baby? Baby and mom.
sleepless nights, but well, he's in
Hmm.
that 3-month-old sleep regression.
Oh, he's 3 months already?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
we were out and
Wow.
about with him today.
Yes.
Different, like went to Sam's Club and
Mm-hmm.
went to Broken Yoke to eat, and then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's just. I mean, right now, if he needs to sleep or
Yeah.
they get cranky, they get fussy, but no, he's
Yes.
doing good. He's doing really good,
That's good.
and so is the wife.
Yes,
We've
she
been really
is.
really blessed with that.
Mm-hmm. I remember whenever we came back from Nashville, Tennessee, and moved back in with my mother-in-law because we were looking for a home. However, once we have got our home, I was working at the hospital. I had to, of course, train on days, and then I transitioned over into the night shift. Isaiah was maybe 4 months old,
Hmm.
and then my husband, well, almost at the time, he was working days. So small child, I'm working nights, he's working days. It was some days it was awful because I was falling asleep on the job because I was suffering from sleep
Yeah, I can't
deprivation.
imagine. I was
Yeah,
telling my wife, I can't. I don't know how this is done.
yeah. And
No,
some you look back on it and it's like I did that, I went through it. But during that time period, you feel like, oh my God, I don't even know how I'm going to make it.
I
But
mean,
you
we
somehow
control our
make it.
schedule. We're fairly flexible. Like I have to do Zooms and go to the site once in a while, like once or twice a week, but it's still hard. I don't know how people
Yeah.
do it that have to check in and check out and
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
So
don't get it.
you and your wife have a really good advantage. I mean, even though it is hard, that
Yeah.
she a huge, huge advantage, which is great. for you
That's what I'm
guys.
saying. I can't imagine. I don't know how it's done. Like, you know,
Hmm.
it's hard enough as it is.
Yes, it is. Just adjusting to everything it's a challenge. Yeah.
And we've been blessed financially, like lately, and we don't have
Hmm.
to worry about that. And it's still
Hmm.
hard. I don't get it. I don't understand how it's done. Like,
New human, new human being, change in routine.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
wild.
yes. But it levels out. I remember people telling me, "Oh, it will level out. It'll get better." And I'm like, "When? Oh,
No, no, I'm
when?"
very glad we did, but
Yeah,
yeah, I didn't realize it's like this. You know.
yeah. We were actually blessed to where we didn't have to put Isaiah in daycare because I was terrified of leaving him with some stranger because people are really, really cruel and mean. So, with Patrick and I's schedule, we were always with Isaiah. However, if we wanted to have date nights or something like that, either my mother-in-law would watch our son or my mom would do it, but he stayed in the care of family like this close. We
Good.
didn't, yeah.
That's
So,
important.
yeah. Anyway, I don't want to. I know, Nikoo. This we got way off topic, but
Yeah. Do you have any kids by any chance, Nick? Or
I have a stepson.
oh, okay. Yeah, it's definitely changes the perspective.
Yeah.
But yeah, good luck. I mean, go out there. Don't even bother with LA. Just forget about LA. Don't do that. I'd rather you
yeah,
go to Riverside than LA.
Okay, sure. I'll go through OC as much as I can with all the information that you provided. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you don't find anything by like the end of the year, I think our site in San Juan should be open by then.
oh,
Okay.
look
So
at
like,
that.
I mean, I'd be happy to have you work there too. I just don't know what
This is,
Monica's doing
yeah.
with her. She said she has somebody already, and I don't know.
Mhm.
We're starting with derm, but eventually we're gonna do psych. So
Hmm.
if you don't have a job by the end of the year, I think we might have something too. Um,
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah. So just like
Awesome.
keep in touch.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Yeah, no
Dan, I
problem.
appreciate you. I really do.
Yeah, yeah. We got to talk about your site because
Okay.
I think that's where you gotta be.
Yes. That's where I want to be. Transition over. It's time. By the time I go to another conference, I don't know if I'm going to be a guest speaker. However, by the time I go to another one, my goal is to be a site owner, not talk about it, but hey, I actually opened up my site.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk to you about.
All right.
I'm looking up Sykeston right now.
Before we go there, Niku, do you have any more questions? Because I'm going to stop the recording, and then
Not at the moment. No, not at the moment. I had all my questions answered.
okay, perfect. Dan, what I normally do is all of her sessions are recorded, as I said, so she can go back and watch them, and
Yeah,
they're hers. But I do, post a few of the sessions or some of these sessions. They go into my YouTube channel so individuals can see what I actually have to offer, and it's not just some cookie cutter resume writing or anything like that. No, I'm really pushing to connect individuals the right way, set them up the right way,
yeah,
and be realistic about it.
yeah.
So, all right. So if that's it, then I'm going to stop the recording. Nikoo, you'll have access to it
Mhm.
soon. It has to download, buffer, or whatever. I'll go ahead and stop it right now.